Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Um, Please, this is group 4, and my name is Adubia Prado, together with our group members showing on your screen.
Now, Adobia, before you start, I believe you were told that everyone is supposed to speak. So I'm inclined to think that you know about that. And so everyone will speak. I don't know about how you have demarcated your time, but everyone has to speak. And when it comes to answering of questions, it's expected that each one is able to at least answer something because it's individual mark that is given, not to the group. Thank you. So please go ahead.
Yes, sir, Doc. So everybody is going to speak. I will talk about the first question, and then each group member will speak about um the other questions as well. So that is the plan. Okay, so by way of introduction, please, I hope you can see my screen.
Yes, please, we can see.
Okay, all right. Okay, thank you. So by way of introduction, we are looking at packaging in this case with fresh harvest as the case study. So we are saying that packaging has become a very vital and strategic aspect in the supply chain management. And from looking at the case study, Fresh Harvest Food Limited, we are seeing that a lot of issues are cropping up with respect to packaging. One of them is that foreign markets such as the EU have strict compliance for recycling, waste reduction, chemical safety standards. So if Fresh Foods or Fresh Harvest intends to keep exporting its products to such places, it would have to comply to those standards. Okay, so question 1 has to do with evaluating the strategic role of packaging in supply chain management, with Fresh Harvest as a reference. So we are saying that packaging has evolved from operational to a strategic role in the supply chain management because it influences logistics efficiency, brand positioning, and overall company performance. Also, any packaging that fails to meet the EU standards and regulations would be rejected, and this would result in serious implications on the company's products, cost of productions, logistics, transport, and ultimately its profit margin. So how do we integrate packaging into a supply chain strategy? Before that, we are also saying that packaging serves as a tool because it provides information about the product to its customers. So in order to integrate packaging into the supply chain strategy, Fresh Harvest should bring all its departments and functions on board because it is not the duty of just one department. It is the responsibility of all functions to come together to achieve a common goal. Bringing all the functions together will ensure that it aligns with the company's objectives, overall objectives. And then also, integrating packaging becomes a tool for improving operational efficiency. strengthening sustainability performance, and it also enhances brand reputation and secures long-term competitiveness. So, my group member Gabriela will take it from question 2. Thank you.
Adobia, please, thank you. So per our question for question 2, we are to use the triple bottom line framework. That is the social, economic, or finance, and then the environmental impact, to provide a balanced way to evaluate fresh harvest packaging alternatives. And the alternatives were the mono material plastics, and then the biodegradable, and then the hybrid strategy. So here we want to say that per the social talks about the people. So how packaging affects consumers, workers, and the communities. And then the planet, that is the environment. Whether packaging is recyclable or biodegradable or reduces pollination. Sorry. And then the profit, that is the financial or the economic side. That is how packaging choices affect cost and business sustainability. So here the slides point out that switching to sustainable packaging will increase cost by about 18 to 35%, which means if fresh harvest avoid this much or bigger risk of having the how do I say it, expensive way of packaging or new machinery, which is relieved in Ghana's stuff. At the moment, we know Ghana, there are some materials here that we cannot afford here. So if we are taking our money from, let's say, being in this 18 to 35% in packaging cost, it means it's a huge risk for us to deal with. The next slide, please. Then the next slide talks about the mono material plastic. Sorry. So how mono means one. It's also easier to recycle, not like the first one. This one is easy to recycle and it meets the UN standards. It also keeps the product price competitive in Ghana, but only gives small brand benefits. It doesn't make fresh harvest look very green. And then if we are to look at this particular mono material plastics, then if UN rules get straighter in the future, then this option may not be enough. Why? Because the mono plastics are practical and affordable now, but could fall short in rules tightening. And then the biodegradable packaging in is future-proofed and eco-friendly, but risky financial in Ghana's markets. So if Fresh Harvest wants to take this particular strategy, then Fresh Harvest must balance short-term survival with long-term sustainability. And then we talk about the next slide. Okay, so please go back. Choosing fully biodegradable or paper-based packaging. It's great for the environment. Okay, it cuts down waste and then shows strong leadership in fighting plastic pollination, pollination is now a big issue in Ghana here. And then it builds an eco-friendly brand image, but it's expensive. and then it will be needing a new equipment that can really hold the Ghana's climate and then relieve an import material or imported materials. Please, the next slide. So he said this option strengthens Fresh Harvest reputation as an environmentally responsible brand. And then, so yes,
Sorry,
this one is
Gabriela, all of you
so,
have to show your face. So when you are presenting, you show your face. So kindly show
okay,
your face and then you can go on. Thank you.
okay, please. Please hold on. Okay. Please, I hope everybody can see my face. Okay. So this slide is talking about the strength of this particular mono material. So it makes Fresh Harvest looks like a leader in environmental responsibility. That is the first sentence of the slide. And then it helps fight Ghana's big problem, that is the plastic pollination. And then it attracts eco-minded buyers who care about sustainability. And then its weakness, it's more expensive than plastic alternatives. And then it requires new equipment and changes in production. Ghana has to depend on imported materials, which add costs and
Looks like
supply.
you are reading to us.
Doc, please, I have a note that I'm reading through.
Is that presentation? Is that a PowerPoint presentation to us?
Okay, please, sorry for that. So we have to, Ghana, at now, we are importing some of the materials which is giving us some courses, and then it's end up making our supply chain a huge thing. So instead of buying something small here or with the prices small in Ghana here, we end up importing and then making the prices high. Please, the next slide.
1 minute more, please.
Please, the next slide. So for now, with this triple line bottom, Fresh Harvest is likely to take the hybrid strategy because the hybrid consists of both the mono material plastic and then the biodegradable strategy. So whilst it is helping in the environment and also minimizing the cost for its customers, it's also good for Fresh Harvest to also implement this kind of strategy in order to make their products friendly for a normal customer to also purchase. Thank you. Please,
All
our
right.
next colleague will
You have 10
continue.
minutes and 5 minutes for questions. And you've already spent 11 to 12 minutes. That was why I asked you whether you have indeed demarcated it as as required, so that all your group members can speak to the matter at hand. 10 minutes for your presentation, 5 minutes for questions, so that we can. But because this is the first one, I'll allow the other two people to also share just a minute and a half each, which is 3 minutes. So go ahead, and then we would finish with it. All subsequent ones, please, let's go by the rules of engagement. Go ahead, please.
Good afternoon, colleagues. My name is Richard Ngbo.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, I am here to do the presentation on the third question. Yeah, that's it, the operational and the procurement risks associated with transitioning to sustainable packaging in emerging economies. Here, if you want to transition to something else that maybe the company was practicing, we have some associated risk that you need to deal with. So we are here to look at some of the risks that we'll be facing. You see, transitioning to sustainable packaging in Ghana carries significant procurement risks. We know if you want to do recycle too, you face some of the risks. So we are here to look at the risks that are involved. So that if we want to go ahead or want to take any decision, we need to know how to go about it. The next slide. Okay. The first risk is currency fluctuation, political instability, and supply disruption. We are talking about currency fluctuation here. If you want to import, let's say we don't have the sustainable packaging material in Ghana, and you want to import them from outside the country, you have to look at the currency. The currency keeps changing. So we need to look at that one too. Because the duty, the import duty, or the elements of the duty, you need to look at the taxes that the government is having or is putting on the item that you are bringing to the country. You need to look at that. So the tax components, when they come together, they make customs duty. If you don't look at that and you just get up and say, well, I'm going to import something to the country because of you want to meet the standard, you will come at the end of the day, the company will run as a loss. And you have to look at the political instability. Maybe the country, they have a political issue. Maybe the country that you are going to import the item from is also having issues with political unrest, all those things. And the Ghana, in the country that we are living to, you need to look at those things. If you want to, you see, one thing about sustainability is it involves minimizing harm to using resources responsibly. So if you have to transition, you need to look at the sustainable side. If you don't do that, at the end of the day, it will be a risk for the environment, economic, and the social. Next slide. Okay, if you want to shift to sustainable packaging in this emerging economies, it carry risk because some of the countries, they have their standard, the quality standard.
What's happening?
Hello.
But
Hello.
Sorry, my
The
line
next
went
person can
off.
take
Sorry.
over.
I don't know if you have lost him.
Sorry, I'm back. My line went off. Network. I'm very sorry. So if you want to shift to sustainable packaging in this emerging economy, you have to be compliant, go by the rules of the country. One thing we should know is every country has the rules or they have the standard of things that are coming to the country. If you don't know, you say maybe the government is is biased or is pushing something onto the Ghanaians that we are not able to carry. We have to make sure that we know that these are the regulatory authorities that are in charge of the thing that you are going to build the country. They have to check, they have to
Please,
test, they have to
your
look
time
at
is
the
up.
standards.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Group
Thank you.
what's 4? Yes. So yes, so friends, this is group 4. They've done their presentation. Any questions for them with regards to what they have presented? Any questions from anybody? All right, my question is with regards to your work. I have not seen not even a single reference in your work, and I'm wondering if you have any reference to talk about, because I have not seen any reference from any one of them. It's not this. I'm not talking about this. I did not see this one. We are just showing this. No, none of you mentioned any reference.
Okay, so Doc, because it is a PowerPoint, we just listed the reference at the end of it so that it wouldn't be too much.
So then why
Yes,
did
and
you
at
put
the
the
end,
reference?
the reference will be mentioned. At the end of the presentation, the reference will come, please.
So this is at the end of the presentation.
No.
You need to cite, you need to read an article and at least cite as a place where you picked some form of information from. That is what I'm talking about. Just as you did for the last slide. It has to be in your slide so that we know that, okay, for this information, at least you picked it from this this journal or this site or whatever. And I've
But
not seen
again, also, Doc, the main one that we sent, the Word document.
the word one, yeah.
Yes, please. We have that there. I think we're just looking at time constraints and then just making it too
Yes.
bulky. That's why perhaps we did it that way. But we have noted your concern and we'll do better next time. Thank you.
The next question is with regards to social-cultural risks associated with the fact that you want to indeed look out for recyclable opportunities. Why is that not part of your risk? Do you get my question?
Yes, Doc.
Yes, maybe there's a reason why you did not, you have not indicated that there's any sociocultural risk associated with that. So if you can tell us why. If you think
No,
there is, that's fine. If you think there is.
there is no reason. I think it was, we just skipped that. There is no reason for not including it.
So is there
Pardon?
sociocultural risk?
It has to be, it can be a risk factor because each country has its own cultural values and all that, and all these can pose as a risk to the product that you are sending, especially if Fresh Harvest intends to export to other countries without considering their cultural background. Some of these places might reject their products because of certain things in their product or packaging that those countries do not like. So it can be a risk factor.
Okay, so this is to your last person who has not spoken. How do you intend to balance the long-term, sustainable gains against the short-term strategies that you find yourself in? You recognize that you are trying to look at the balance, how much you are spending against you going sustainable. And I'm asking you, which one would indeed make a difference in the life of the organization? Do you get me?
Yes, Doc, I get.
So what is your position on that? Okay, so thank you very much, Group 4, for your presentation. Thank you. All right, so let's have Group 7. Group 7, you have 10 minutes and 5 minutes for questions, please. Who is sharing the slides for Group 7?
Look, I'm trying to share it, but I'm having a little challenge. Can any member of my group try share it for us? I'm having a little challenge here.
Hello, Jude.
Yes.
Yes. Are you sharing on your PC?
Yes, I'm trying to share it on my PC.
Yeah. Do you see the share button below the taskbar on your screen, the Zoom taskbar? To make it simple to you, can you share your slides to me ASAP so that I can present? I can share it on your screen.
All right. I'm doing it right away.
Okay, as we wait, let's go to Group 3. Okay, as we wait, Group 3, please bring us up.
All right, Doc. Okay. So good afternoon, all. Okay, my video. Okay, good afternoon, all. Please, this is Group 3. My name is Isaac Agyeman. So these are the members of our group. And as we delve into the strategic role of packaging and supply chain management with a case study from Fresh Harvest Foods Limited, I'll be talking to, I'll take the slides from the first one down through to the packaging options, then my other colleagues will follow suit. So with the introduction, we're talking about how packaging influences logistics, its sustainability, and then the brand perception. So from the case study, we realized that Fresh Harvest Foods company wants to go global. They've been producing traditionally and they want to go global. So in going global, there are some things that they are looking at that we as a group feel that once we have a clear take on that, it will be able to help push them to that pedestal that they want. So in packaging, we know it plays a very crucial role when it comes to logistics, when it comes to supply chain, and then sustainability. Also, the brand, as you package, you have to know that you are given the right brand to package in which you'll be able to sell out so that when it gets out there, at least it can rake in some market and then some profits for you. Also, we'll be talking about the export markets, which is increasingly demand eco-friendly packaging. So if you are doing it just here in Ghana, then obviously you may want to overlook some things which is not totally true. But as you are going outside the borders of the country, then there's the need for you to be cognizant with some basic things that as you move your things outside the shores of the country, there are things you need to take note of and then you work on. That means looking at the regulations and compliance and every other thing, especially with the EU. Fresh harvest food must be able to comply to be able to move, even as they try to package. They also have to try as much as.
Isaac, is it Isaac who is speaking?
Yes, please.
Kindly click on your PowerPoint button so that it will come clear for us to see.
Okay.
Again, is it intentional that your room is dark?
But yeah, so my lights. Where do I go from? Okay. Is it like this? Please, is it okay?
I mean, click on your PowerPoint.
Okay.
You don't have? All right, you can go ahead. We'll maximize from here.
Please, is it okay?
Yes.
Okay. Back. Oh, it's not scrolling. It's not a slide. How to scroll is not scrolling. What's happening?
If it's not working, kindly go back and then just leave it as it is.
Okay. This is not responding.
Okay, so close it.
Okay.
I think as much as possible, we should all do.
Then, let me end it.
Hold on. I'm saying that as much as possible, we should all do well to be abreast with how to use PowerPoint, please. It's very, very important. At this level, I mean, these more or less basics, all of us should be able to know and utilize it as appropriately as possible. So close it. I see your cursor. Move it to the X or at the far, I don't know, at the far right, and then close it. Move your cursor to the far right and close your PowerPoint. Are you able to do that?
Yeah, dog, my PC went off. Tony, please, I've shared it with you if you can project it for us. The PCs.
of
Okay, so all of you, kindly send your work to your course rep so that we don't take any more time. Thank you.
Okay.
Please, is the slide showing?
Yes, please.
All right. Can you proceed?
Okay, thank you. So, okay, all right. Introduction. Okay, please go to the introduction. Okay, thank you very much. So as I was saying, for fresh harvest to be able to be visible out there, it must take notes. It must take cognizance of being able to adapt to regulations and then what the customers really expect from them. Then also, it has to be okay with its packaging decisions in order to be able to what uh, align with what we seek to achieve. By so doing, we have to go through the various stages of ensuring that whatever we are doing, it's in line with all the departments and whatever, so that we can come out with a positive feed. So as when the product gets out there, it will be useful and then it will serve its purpose. Please, the next slide. So with a strategic role in packaging, we are looking at it that from the case study, we noticed that packaging plays a critical role, okay, during storage and then transportation. Now, if we are able to package our items very well, if you're able to package the juices and all that we do very well,
Keep
when we
your
are
video on.
okay, sorry. Is it okay?
Go ahead, please.
Okay, thank you. So when we're able to package very well, package our products very well, and we know what we have packaged. So thereby, when we are transporting, we know exactly the right process and procedures to use in transporting, just because we have packaged it very well. And also, in a way, it will support supply chain efficiency. Thereby, knowing which ones that have been packaged, how it has been packaged, how we are transporting it from the warehouse back into the trucks if we have to go through the vehicle or by road or by train, getting it packed on very well. And then the means of transportation, that chain, we ensure that the package is done well and right so that we'll not get to the destination and realize that we have issues. Some fell off, some didn't. So we take they will take note of all those things, and then when we are moving it out, we get it out very well. And it will also enhance our brand communication in the sense that once we are projecting a particular brand, we have a particular brand that we are sending out. We have packaged it well. Once we're able to do that, it will be able to tell the others that, oh, this particular brand is for this company. And once it's for this company, it's like we are affixed to this brand, which will also help us sell out as we move on with what we are doing. Also, when we're able to do our packaging very well, we're able to do our branding very well. We are trying to say as a group that it will reduce the environmental impact in the sense that as we package and as we brand, we would have to take cognizance of all the things that all the regulations, the rules, the do's and the don'ts that we have to go through to be able to see that yes, we are doing the right thing. The next slide, please. Next slide, please. Okay. So when we talk about the packaging,
2 minutes
relation,
more.
wow. Yes, I will talk about package. Okay, so in integrating it into the corporate strategy, we would ensure that we align with business goals. So what does the business seek to achieve? The aims and objectives of the goals. As we do so, we have to ensure that whatever we are doing is in line, thereby not yielding to something that will not really assist or help the company grow. And then it will also help in its sustainability impacts. So that we'll be able to be sustainable on the market front. We'll be able to move out there and then achieve what we seek to do. It will also help us, suppliers and logistics, build a stronger bond or partnership amongst us so that at least once we are bringing it in, we send a signal, oh, so this time around I'm supposed to supply this, I'm bringing this. So at least there's a collaboration or there's a link there that would help us. And then it will also help us to invest in packaging innovation, whereby we'll be able to innovate. Once we realize that this one is not helping well, what do we do to achieve more? We try and then we work around it. Next slide, please.
Be able to tackle that.
So with this, there are 3 options that we are talking about: the incremental change, the radical sustainability, and then the hybrid option. We are saying that with all these, though it will come to play, but there's a need for us to relook at it again, in the sense that when we move forward, we are going to depend on the hybrid strategy, because we are going to have a blend of the traditional and then the Western one that we seek to achieve. So I think my other colleagues will continue from here, please.
Biodegradable films of the requirements compensate to break down facilities.
Looks like your other colleagues are not ready. Should we move on to the next group?
I'm here, sir. I'm here. Next slide, please. Sir, please, I'm here. This is Rosita. Tony, please, next slide.
Where are you?
Okay. So the previous one. Please, I'm here. I don't have light, so the previous one, before this one. I don't have light, so I'm in the dark, sir. Please go to the next one. The triple bottom line framework. Yes. So the triple bottom line framework was developed by Elkington, and this framework helps evaluate the packaging strategy with 3 dimensions: economic, environmental, and social performance. Economically, the strategy must remain financially viable for fresh harvest food. And environmentally, the packaging should reduce waste and support sustainability goals. Socially, the company must consider consumer expectations and responsible business practices. Using this framework, these 3 components, it will allow Fresh Harvest to make balanced decisions that support both business success and sustainability objectives. Next slide, please. This is the triple bottom line model. It illustrates the pillars of sustainability: economic, environmental, and social. For Fresh Harvest, economic sustainability means maintaining profitability while managing packaging costs. Environmental sustainability involves reducing plastic waste and improving recyclability. Social sustainability, on the other hand, will focus on consumer perception and corporate responsibility. When these factors are balanced, the company can achieve long-term sustainable supply chain performance. Please, next slide. Okay, this is the economic analysis. From an economic perspective, each packaging option has different cost implications. The first option, which is the incremental change option, requires moderate investment because it mainly modifies existing plastic packaging. It's not a total overhaul of what they already have. On the other hand, the radical sustainability option will require major capital investments because new equipment and materials would need to be introduced by Fresh Harvest Food Limited. The hybrid strategy spreads costs gradually by applying sustainable packaging only in export markets initially. So in the beginning, they are not going to change everything at once. They are going to service the EU markets. And then this approach allows Fresh Harvest to manage financial risk while still progressing toward sustainability goals. Next one, the environmental impact. Okay. Environmental considerations are increasingly important in global food supply chains. The radical sustainability option significantly reduces plastic waste by using biodegradable materials. On the other hand, the incremental approach improves recyclability but does not fully eliminate plastic usage. But the hybrid strategy will provide a balanced solution. This is by introducing sustainable packaging gradually. Over time, the approach allows Fresh Harvest to reduce environmental footprint while maintaining operational stability. The next one, please, social impact. Yeah. Sustainable packaging also influences how consumers perceive the Fresh Harvest brand. Many European consumers prefer environmentally friendly packaging and may favor brands that demonstrate sustainability commitments. So by adopting the sustainable packaging for exports, Fresh Harvest strengthens its brand reputation in international markets, in the EU markets especially. This will encourage responsible consumption among customers. The company positions itself in a socially responsible organization within the global industry.
1 minute to go.
My colleague will take over from here, please.
Yeah, please, the next slide. Yeah, now to add up to what my colleague just said, we have the recommended strategy hybrid approach that balances sustainability and cost, meet EU export regulations, reduces operational disruption, allows gradual transition. So please, let's go to the next slide. We have the supply chain risk, and that's limited local supply of sustainable materials, high investment in new machinery.
Okay, we can't see you.
Yes. Okay, we have staff training requirements, storage and handling challenges. So please, let's move to the next slide. We have the risk mitigation strategy, and that's gradual implementation of sustainable packaging. We have supplier development and dual sourcing. We have government and investor partnerships. We have pilot projects for selected products. So please, let's move to the next slide. we have the strategic positioning, and that's compliance with EU regulations, differentiation through sustainability, cost leadership, and domestic market. So please let's move to the next slide. Conclusion.
I'm not sure of what's happening. Is it from my end? Am I the only one who can hear him?
Hello, sir.
We can't hear him.
Hello, sir.
Yes, all of us can
Hello.
hear you.
Sir, please, can you see me now?
All of us cannot hear you.
Hello, sir. Hello.
We can't hear you.
Hello, sir.
Okay, maybe they are done. All
Hello,
right.
sir. Hello, sir.
We,
Please, can you
we
hear
can
me?
we can hear you.
Hello, sir.
Okay.
Please, can you hear me?
So thank you very much, Go3, for your group work. Yeah, so friends and colleagues, any questions for them will be much more appreciated. Any questions? Okay, so if there are no questions, group 3, I have a question for you. Yes, you are talking about how packaging has been incorporated into corporate strategies and all that. So my question is, how can we use packaging as a strategic tool to assure competitiveness? How can you do that to assure competitiveness?
Okay, Doc, thank you very much. So, in order to assure competitiveness or be competitive on the market,
No,
there's a
difference. I'm not talking about being competitive in the market. I'm talking about using it as a strategic tool to assure of competitiveness.
Doc, please let me and come back.
Yes, group 3.
Doc, can I
Hello,
help
sir.
them?
Hello, sir.
Who are you? Are you part of the group?
No, sir.
Hello,
Or
sir.
your business in helping anybody? Yes,
Sir, please, can you hear me?
yes, we can hear you.
Oh, okay. Sir, please, I heard you saying, like, how can we use what? Sir, please, the question again, as a strategic tool to ensure competitiveness, right?
To assure.
To assure.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Sir, okay. Then, sir, please send me.
Okay, so if that question is not coming forth from you, answering. Okay, so my second question is that we have mentioned about the use of hybrid, and it looks like in your slides, I see hybrid packaging strategy here and there. So my question is, how can you also, utilize this particular strategy, okay, vis-a-vis the cost implications? Because you realize that you're saying that the cost is spread over time, and if the cost is indeed spread over time, how can this strategy actually work well for the organization?
Okay, Doc. Thank you very much. So, what we seek to achieve is that with the hybrid strategy that we're talking about, we are looking at making use of the traditional ways and then the the other modern one that we seek to achieve. By so doing, when we blend these two, we realize that in a way we'll be able to solve a problem when we have to do with the local balance, and then when it has to go outside, still we looking at compliance and every other thing we'll be able to do. Unlike just using a traditional way that we will not be able to be effective enough when we go out because maybe we will fall short of the being following the regulatory rules and compliance out there. But when we have the two in place, we notice that when it comes to, let's say, Ghana, whatever it takes to for your packaging and for our branding to be done here in Ghana, we look at it and then we do it for the people of Ghana. Now, if we are going outside the country, if we are going to the European markets and the rest, we also try and ensure that we do the same. So by so doing, if we have to, let's say, produce a particular quantity for the European market, we look at what we are going to gain if we produce for them and against what we are going to get if we produce for the people here. So once that one, the one we are sending outside is small, that will inure more benefits. We try and then we comply with whatever we do, and then we do that so that we can reduce the one that we have here. So if the quantity that they so demand is not too high. In this way, we try to blend the two so that at least we can save cost rather than preparing or producing a lot for the consumption in Ghana here. Meanwhile, maybe they wouldn't want. So we look at it on these metrics and then we see how best it will be able to work out.
Okay, thank you. The one who has not spoken in your group, can you take the first question? If not, we move on.
Yeah, please. She is not feeling well, so I would like to take the first question.
Thank you very much, Group 3, for your
Hello, sir.
your elaborate work. Yes.
Sir, please, I said she's not feeling well, so I would like to take the first question, sir.
Okay, go ahead. Ah, okay, so thank you very much, Group 3. Looks like you are still not ready. So let's hear from Group 5.
Uh, Good day, everyone. My name is Tony. Today, I'll be presenting on the case study titled Sustainable Packaging Transformation at First Harvest Food Limited. I'm presenting by my colleagues, namely Rosemary, Sarah, Jasmine, Daniel, and myself. The purpose of this presentation is to
We can't see you.
how the purpose of this presentation is to examine how Fresh Harvest Food Limited integrates sustainable packaging into its corporate strategy. The presentation will focus on how packaging decisions can support operational efficiency, ensure product quality, and improve market competitiveness within the fresh produce industry. So to guide this presentation, I will begin with a brief background of Fresh Harvest Food Limited and the challenges the company faced with traditional packaging. And I will then discuss how packaging can be integrated into corporate strategy by influencing operational efficiency, ensuring product quality, and strengthening market competitiveness. So the background, Fresh Harvest Food Limited is a company that operates in the fresh produce industry, supplying fruits to retailers and consumers. Because the company deals with highly perishable products, maintaining freshness and reducing spoilage throughout the supply chain is very, very important. Traditionally, Fresh Harvest relied on conventional plastic packaging, which helped protect the product, but raised concerns about environmental sustainability, increasing costs, and changing consumer expectations. So over time, the company will face growing pressure from regulators, customers, and environmental groups to adopt more sustainable packaging solutions. So as a result, Fresh Harvest began transforming its packaging system to support both operational performance and environmental responsibility. Now, we'll be looking at how integrating packaging into corporate strategy. So how do we do that? First, by directing influencing operational efficiency. Packaging can directly influence product quality. Since Fresh Harvest deals with fresh fruits, proper packaging plays a major role in preserving freshness and extending shelf life. So effective packaging will protect the products from contamination and physical damage, helping the company deliver high quality produce to customers. And the second one is to ensuring product quality. They can do this by proper packaging that is playing a major role in preserving freshness and extending shelf life. So here, effective packaging will protect products from contamination and physical damage, and this will help the company deliver high quality produce. Then the next point is market competitiveness. So packaging contributes to market competitiveness. Attractive and sustainable packaging can strengthen a company's brand image and appeal to environmental conscious consumers. So by adopting eco-friendly packaging materials, Fresh Harvest can differentiate itself from competitors and respond to the increasing demand for sustainable products. So in conclusion, the Fresh Harvest case study shows that packaging should be considered a strategic tool within a corporate operations. When properly integrated into corporate strategy, packaging can improve operational efficiency, protect product quality, and enhance competitiveness in the market. So the transformation towards sustainable packaging also demonstrates how companies can balance business performance with environmental responsibility in modern supply chains. My next colleague, Rosemary, will proceed with the triple bottom line assessment. Rosemary, you may proceed.
Action. Please, can you see my face?
Rosemary, we can see. Kindly proceed.
Oh, okay. Good afternoon. Okay, so question 2. Elevation of strategic packaging alternative for fresh fruit, Fresh Harvest Food Limited. Fresh Harvest Food Limited needs to choose a packaging strategy that balances cost, environmental stability, and market competitiveness. To elevate the option, the company used the triple bottle line framework, which considered and economic, environmental, and social impacts. The first option is incremental change, where the company switched to recycled mono material plastic without changing existing machines. This option is low cost and low risk, and it keeps products
Rosemary, are you?
affordable. Doc,
Hello, the slide is still on triple bottom line assessment, and I don't know what's happening. Are you reading to us?
yes, Doc.
No, don't read to us. Present on what has been shared. Okay.
Okay. Triple bottom line framework. TBL elevates performance across three dimensions: economical feasibility, environmental suitability, social responsibility, empathize alignment between profitable and sustainability. Okay, next slide. Option 1, incremental strategy, mono-material. Optionally, operationally conservative, and cost effectiveness approach. Focus on recyclability improvement. Limit strategic repositioning in existing markets.
Okay, you have 1 minute more.
Economic. Low transaction costs, minimize distribution. Environmental. Oh God. Please, Doc, can someone help?
Someone help with what, please?
With continue the presentation.
Is there someone? Don't you have a group? Don't you know your group members?
Yes, Doc, I know them.
So call them, the one who is supposed to continue from where you are stopping.
Okay, Doc. So my name is Daniel Connie. I'll be continuing from where Rosemary has just ended, and I'll be taking the operational procurement risk related to transitioning to for especially emerging economies. Okay. When we talk about operational risk, we are talking about risk that arise during production for something like the fresh juice, during the filling stage, the storage of the products, and even in the distribution chain. Because the existing machinery is calibrated with to support the existing product line, which is for plastic. In order to transition, there would have to be some equipment modification. And these modifications may end up, if not done, may end up causing, let's say, things like line jams, the efficiency of production will be, especially reduce, and then even create defective products, because if the company rushes into sustainability without proper assessments, this defects can really cause the company so much.
So where are you? We can't see you.
Look, my camera is on. I've been trying to get it to show, but it's just showing blank. Unfortunately, it looks like I have a technical issue. Okay. So again, we are talking about shelf life and product integrity. If you look at what the World Packaging Organization said about this kind of packaging, which is the eco-friendly films, it talks, when we read literature, it talks about the fact that it has weaker oxygen content, and then it's not able to hold moisture that well. So in humid climates, we have the risk of product spoilage, and even especially in Europe, where they are very strict on standards, you would have your products rejected and all. We're also looking at the workforce capacity. Okay, workforce retraining needs to happen here, because these are new products. There would have to be new quality control processes and all of this. So we need to make sure that the equipment are all calibrated properly, and then quality control processes are retrained for the staff that work on it. Next slide, please. So we again talk about procurement risk. What do we mean? We're trying to look at things like supply reliability. We're looking at how costs can be stabilized, and even ensuring that we are complying with regulatory laws. Okay, and in this case, we have import dependence and potential supply chain disruptions, especially when we are talking about developing economics, which already have very weak production capacity. We mostly rely on international suppliers for these sustainable products, and this can lead to long lead times, supply chain disruptions, and even when it comes to even the Accra port, just looking at it, would come and get stuck in port congestion issues and all those things. So the dependence on global supply chain for this sort of material is a huge procurement risk in this fact. We also have the supplier power. If you look at what Michael Porter said in the Porter's 5 Forces, he talks about the supplier power, right? And once you have just a few suppliers being the ones capturing the European market and the supply chain, especially in supplying sustainable equipment, you as an organization would definitely fall for the power of that supplier, in terms of if there's any price increases, you will not have any chance of bargaining. Even the product is being bought in foreign currency, so we're talking about fluctuations in the foreign exchange and all of that. All this affects your supply chain. All this procurement risk that needs to be considered. And we are looking at regulatory uncertainty, especially in Europe, because as technology improves, the Europeans would always want to make sure they are improving or making sure the standards are catching up as well. So you realize that you would invest so much in complying today, and tomorrow the goal post has shifted again. So there's a risk there. Once you comply, tomorrow the compliance criteria changes and you still need to comply again. Okay, next slide, please. Yeah, so we are also going to look at the risk mitigation strategies here. Okay, so just as my colleague said, we are looking at the hybrid rollouts here. Over here, we are saying that let's launch the eco packaging to high value export areas first. Then we keep the existing packaging systems for the local environment, because especially when they are price sensitive and we can then gradually monitor the market, and as and when it's appropriate, we can just gradually bring in the eco-friendly system within the local environment, but focus first on complying with the Europeans and then launching the eco packaging there first. We're also looking at the supplier diversity. Like I said earlier, relying on one supplier is a huge procurement risk, and therefore you as a organization, they have to look at dual sourcing, and then even look internally at other sustainable things, like how our local startups are looking at agricultural products and making it more sustainable in packaging and those things. You can support one of them and then get them to improve the product, and then you can even use that as a product differentiation in the European market. Okay, again, we have price, financial risk management. Over here, what we are proposing is that because definitely you don't control the exchange rates issues and all, we are saying that the organization should look at financial hedging, right? Or even negotiate price at a fixed exchange rate to the future, so that these issues do not really affect them deeply. Then finally, we're going to look at the life cycle cost analysis. Here, we are saying that organizations should not just pick the products on a unit cost basis, but we should look at how the packaging and affect the entire full life cycle of the product. So we're talking about from the birth of the product, how the product is created, to the processing of it, the supply chain, value chain. We're looking at the brand equity of it, and ensuring that it complies with the regulations within your country and then your export country. Over here, I'll leave it to my next colleague to also take over the next slide.
Good afternoon, everyone. So I'm Sarah Dembele, and then I'll be talking about the influence of consumer behavior and then the regulatory pressure on packaging. So packaging decisions are generally influenced not only by but how the company operates internally, but also by the external pressure. When I say external pressure, I'm referring to the consumers, their expectation, and then also the government regulations. So in our case of Fresh Harvest, the external pressures play an important role in shaping the packaging strategies. So I will explain how consumer behavior and regulatory pressure influence the packaging decisions. So we say that the consumer behavior play an important role in packaging decisions. We've noticed that consumers nowadays prefer everything that is environmentally friendly, packaging that are recyclable or biodegradable, because sustainable packaging can improve the perception of the product quality and brand responsibility. So for example, when you go to supermarket, you see that a lot of customers will be getting fruit juices that are in recyclable carton. I think in Ghana you have, if I remember of the brand, the carton one, the Fruteli, the Don Simon, that kind of packaging. This is what I'm referring to, because they believe that these materials are quite healthier and then environmentally friendly compared to the plastic packaging. So which most often it makes the product appear more premium and responsible. But also some research have shown that consumers also say that they care about sustainability, but when making a purchasing decision, still prioritize price and convenience. Okay, just to explain this part, you can go to a supermarket, you really want to take something that is good for yourself, that's something that is good for your health, but then it also comes at a price. So mostly there's what you want, and then there's what you wish, and then there's what you can really afford. So that also influence how the packaging decision is being made. So the second part of my presentation is about the regulatory pressure on packaging. So in addition to the consumer behavior, regulatory pressure also influence strongly the packaging decisions. Why we say that is because government and international organizations, they try to enforce regulation that are related to recyclability, everything that is biodegradable, and then they also want to reduce the waste. So these regulations that are imposed by most of the European countries aim to reduce the environmental pollution and then to also protect the public health. So for example, when companies export products to Europe, they want to ensure that their packaging materials actually comply with the environmental regulation of that specific country, and then the recyclable standards. So if the packaging, for example, when you say the packaging, if the packaging does not, no, if the packaging contains too much of non-recyclable plastic, that product will not be allowed to enter into the market. The government will block. They will say, no, you are not allowed because you are not meeting the requirements of the country. So another, for those, I'm into logistics, and something that I see often, it is another example that is quite different from this, but it's also about the type of the pallets, the wooden pallets that are used in containers. So normally when doing exports internationally, these pallets must be heat treated and then certified to prevent that insect actually spread between the countries. So when they are alongside the shipment, and then when it gets there, they do not want any insect into their country. So if that is not the pallet is not treated, then and then it's not certified, they don't see that the pallet has been heat treated, it is not allowed, it will not enter into their country. So for fresh harvest, complying with international packaging regulations, especially those in the European Union, is essential because the company export product that European market, because it is essential for the European market. So if the company fails to comply with these regulations, they could face penalties or lose access to important export markets. So I'll leave the next part for my colleague to continue.
Good afternoon, Doug. I'm Jasmine. Yes. Okay. Oh. Yeah, yes, ma'am. All right. So if you're done, then any questions for them? Any questions from the class to them? All right. So my question. So I saw in your slides that you have
Hello,
indicated that
Doc.
yes.
Yeah. Control.
What's the
Meet
control?
which of this is the best strategy?
Where are you?
Compliance. Dog, I'm here.
So why is your video off and you are still
Okay.
talking?
Sorry, dog.
Well done.
Hello?
Well, you know,
No, please.
so what was
Which
the
of
point?
my point, which of this is the best strategy? Compliance drive, differentiation with the cost, control. Control meet regulating first, then use the sustainability to stand out while managing cost through efficiency. Please, next.
You didn't
Price
talk about
sensitive.
this. You didn't talk about this.
Hello?
Yeah, I did.
All right, so 1 minute to go.
So Doc, I'll continue with Jasmine. I think she's having internet issues. So the last part focuses on the strategy between prioritizing compliance, cost leadership, or differentiation. So these are three strategic options. So Fresh Harvest must decide which strategy they should prioritize to help them to choose the right one. So compliance normally refers to the requirements that needs to be met in order for them to enter in European market and avoid any penalties. So institutional theory explained that companies must follow formal rules and regulations to gain legitimacy and operate successfully in global markets. When you talk of cost leadership, it refers to minimizing costs to keep the product being affordable, especially in our market in Africa, in the domestic market where consumers are more price sensitive. But achieving cost leadership can be difficult because sustainable materials increases operational costs, and the differentiation focuses on standing out in the market by offering environmental responsible packaging and strengthening the brand reputation. So
All
among
right.
these three.
All right. Thank you. Your time is up. Thank you very much, Group 5. Yeah, thank you, Sarah. Cool. All right, thank you. All right, so I'm saying that I was asking a question with regards to your work. So I saw in your slides you were looking at how best you can incorporate packaging into your corporate strategy. Indeed, how can you do that? Please remember I'm saying that incorporating packaging into your corporate strategy. How can you do that? Thank you. Hello, Group 5, are you there?
Yeah, Doc. Yes, we are here. Incorporating packaging into a corporate strategy yes, it can happen because first of all, it would enable you stand out in the market. For example, if you have eco-friendly packaging that is particularly, let's say, made from agricultural products, and then you have your competitors and other partners, other companies not having such packaging, consumers can easily identify you from a list of items and just pick you out just because they can easily recognize your packaging and be able to sell more because of that. Secondly, it also builds a much more friendly image in terms of the customer's perception about the company, which means that customers can easily relate to your product and then again identify it easily from any line they see the items. Thank you.
Okay, I'll allow you to pass, but look for what corporate strategy is. Okay, because the difference between corporate strategy, business level strategy, and operational strategy. Okay, so these are the 3 levels of strategy in a business. So kindly look at it so that you can see what indeed I was trying to talk about. Again, I think I heard Sarah talking about institutional theory, which got me quite interested. So what is the role of institutional theory in advancing sustainable or sustainability as far as coming up with these eco-friendly packages are concerned?
Doc, please, can you repeat the question for me?
Yeah, so I'm saying that I heard you talk about institutional theory, and that got me quite interested in what you were talking about. How can that theory advance the role of packaging in ensuring that you have a sustainable business to run?
Look, I can take that one as well. Institutional theory, we place this in because we realize that, for example, we have some coercive issues coming from the European market. You know, the European government just comes up with laws and then we have to follow. So one of the key issues with institutional theory is the coercive powers of the government and the agencies that can force organizations to behave the way they want them to behave. Again, if you look at institutional theory, we talk about mimicking each other in terms of organization. So if an organization, if a competitor comes up with a product and it is taking over the market, other organizations would follow it and then also mimic it in that. So institutional theory here was very critical for us to put it in.
Yeah, I think that's a very good one. Yeah. Marrying institutional theory with the corporate strategy, as well as ensuring that the very fine details of institutional theory is brought to bear. Okay, thank you. I think I can relate with that mimetism, and then as well as also coercive isomorphism. These are very good points there. All right, so thank you very much, Connie, Daniel, and Co, Tony and Co, for your presentation. All right, so group 1. What's happening with group 1?
We are trying to share the screen, Doc.
Charles, if you have problem sharing your screen, kindly forward it to me ASAP, okay?
Okay, sure. Okay, no, I can. I think it's okay now.
Okay, you may proceed then.
Okay. So thank you, Doc. Group 1. The key message.
Just your slide is turned upside.
Oh, okay. I made it look like I'm okay. How should I even go around it?
So to avoid all this, I
Send
ask
it
that,
to me.
please hold on. To avoid all this, I ask everyone to send their slides to the course rep. So why are you now wasting our time?
No, it's shared with the course rep according to my team. It's shared with him.
So who is projecting this?
I'm the one projecting it right now because
Why are you the one projecting this?
Okay, so you let allow him. Okay, Tony, so please do it for us. Hello, Tony. Okay. Okay, thank you. No, good. Okay, thank you. So group 1. So basically, the key message is that considering the case study, Fresh Harvest is at a strategic crossroads where packaging is no longer just a container or just for aesthetics, but a core driver for market survival. And that is where Fresh Harvest Company is at right now. So the context for this presentation outlines how we can pivot to meet European sustainability standards and also without collapsing our domestic markets. So basically, that is what fresh food is confronted with. But if you look at the case study that was given to us to develop these slides, fresh foods have a success story currently, whereby we've seen 5 years of steady growth in urban retail and exports until the EU modalities came, so far as compliance and regulatory factors are concerned with respect to their packaging. And that is how come fresh foods no longer sees packaging as a container, but as a core market survival core driver. So basically, the problem is the current PET bottles and laminated pouches are effective for shelf life, but are nearly impossible for recycle. And I always consider these things very normal because from where I work at Cocobod, gradually the European Union is trying to punch holes in everything that comes from Africa that is trying to boost our economy by bringing these regulations and these regularities. So, in fact, when this case study was shared, I was a bit, I could relate in a way. Next slide, please. Good. So the strategic role of packaging. We'll first look at the trade-offs. So the trade-offs, we have the financial impact. Considering the slides, the case study that was shared, sustainable materials will cost 18 to 35% more expensive. Meanwhile, the consumers or the customers can only tolerate 5 to 8%, considering the case study that was shared per price hike for them to be able to buy it at that level, leaving a significant value gap. Because if you are asking me to comply to your regularities and cost, and it will cost me about 18 to 35% much more expenses, and you are only ready to only pay 5 to 8%. So far as incremental difference is concerned, I think we have to strategize. And that is how come fresh food is at crossroads as we speak. The operational risk. Existing machinery is optimized for plastics transitioning, will require phased capital investment in new filling and sealing requirements, meaning that if you want to comply to the EU's modalities, meaning they have to change the entire machinery that they use to do the packaging, which will also cost them too much. And at the end of the day, you're not only considering the EU market, but you should also consider the domestic market as well. So you must be able to balance these two to be able to make profits, or basically, let's say, keep the company running. And then logistics efficiency. Whilst glass offers a premium image, it increases transportation costs and the corporate carbon footprint due to its weight. So with this point, the logistics efficiency, now the EU is bringing some modalities called carbon credits. And in fact, basically very soon, anything that comes from Africa, they will calculate all these things and it will affect your pricing. So because glass offers a premium look in packaging and it's more attractive, and everybody would like to have a package in glass, in as much as for aesthetic views and for appreciation, so far as appearance is concerned, customers like it. If you are transporting glass products, you take longer times on the road, and this adds up to the carbon footprints that the logistics efficiency talks about. And these are all part of the EU regularities. If fresh harvests do not take care, it will go against them. Next slide. Next slide, please. Hello? 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 Next slide, please. Okay. So the company profile. Mid-sized agro-processor in West Africa producing juices, dried fruits, and spices.
Coach Rob, do you have an issue?
Current package. PET bottles, multi-layer laminated pouches, and vacuum-sealed plastic packs. And the conflict is that current formats provide excellent protection, but are difficult to recycle due to material complexity. The key drivers for change: European environmental regulations, rising support costs, and shifting consumer preferences. Next slide. Okay. So beyond procurement, packaging is no longer a cost control function. It is a strategic driver of supply chain integration. So the core function, it must simultaneously provide containment, protection, communication, and convenience. What this means is that in as much as it has become a core function, it should go beyond just serving the purpose as being packaged and it's nice and it looks good and it can control shelf life to a certain level. But now it also has some compliance and regulatory that it must abide to. Logistics impact, decision on materials, example, switching to glass, directly affect import costs and the total carbon footprint. The integration, packaging must integrate into corporate strategy to enhance environmental performance and competitive positioning.
2 minutes more.
Hello? Next slide. Good. So we are confronted with the triple bottom line analysis. That is the economic, the social, and environmental. So we face an 18% cost increase in eco-friendly materials. The social data shows that customers want green options, but will only tolerate 5 to 8% price hike, leaving a significant gap. The environmental transitioning is mandatory to meet extended producer responsibilities requirements in export markets. Please, next slides. So considering these three options, we recommend the hybrid option, which is the safety first approach because it considers still making relevant impacts or competitiveness in your local market whilst considering the exotic market too as well. So basically, keeping traditional affordable packaging for the domestic market to stay competitive and also complying to the European standards so that you don't lose the market also at the European world. Next slide. So the risk
1 minute more.
Risk in emerging economies. The supply chain, we lack local sources of bioplastics, meaning we are dependent on imports with long lead times. Technically, our current sealers are optimized for laminated plastics. They may fail if we switch materials too quickly. So risk mitigation, we must consider forward contracting to look in prices against current drops and look for local mono material suppliers. Next slide.
Okay, so thank you very much, Group 1, for your presentation. Thank you. Any questions for our Group 1 members? Any questions for Group 1 members? Okay, so if there are no questions, then I would indeed ask some questions. All right. Yeah, so great. Great presentation. I indeed like the fact that you brought in some form of regulations that typically happens from the EU point of view, and where indeed we as Africans would have to indeed comply. And it also has to do with how best we can indeed manage our efforts as far as climate change is concerned. Now, it is undoubted that packaging plays a key role in managing cost, and this cost transcends the product itself, as well as in terms of moving the product from one point to the other. In your expose, which strategy can indeed be used as apart from ensuring that there is indeed an effect of packaging on cost as well as how it moves from one point to the other?
So we consider the hybrid, whereby we consider both markets, the local and the exotic one. That's the EU markets line. So basically, we are looking at still maintaining the packaging we use in the local markets, because that one, there are no any strict regularities that should bar us from continuing with it. In as much as being relevant and being competitive on the local markets, we are considering how to also comply to the EU strategy of the marketing. And by doing so, we can significantly increase income locally so that gradually, we can comply to the demands and the needs of the EU's regularity based on the packaging of recyclable packages that should be used for packaging so far as export is concerned.
Okay, so this is to other group members who have also not spoken, and I'm wondering why. Okay, so the other group members, this question is to you. Apart from assuring that packaging plays a key role in transportation, which other areas does packaging also strategically play in an organization's quest to be competitive?
Hello, group members, talk.
Yes, so the company, Fresh Harvest, they can also adapt this urban retail chain where the demand for eco-friendly products is rising. So in order to meet that standard of the international standard, they need to abide by all the rules and regulations from all the rules and regulations so that they can also meet the world standard.
Yes, and other group members, you want to share your thoughts? I mean, this is an opportunity, so I don't give you zero. Charles, that is unfair, please.
Yes, Doc.
Mute your mic.
Doc. Hello.
Sir, please,
Sir,
can you ask the question again?
Hello, Doc.
Sir. Hello, sir.
Elizabeth Dodo.
Sir, please, can you ask the question again?
My question is that it's undoubted that packaging plays a role in transportation, etc. And I'm saying that as part of the strategy to enhance competition, what other role can packaging play?
Sir, I don't know if it's right, but packaging if your package is attractive, it will bring more buyers to gain more profit. To show off my
Doc, please, can I come in? It also reduces carrying cost.
Masa, please. I did not ask you. I'm saying that the others who have not spoken, you have spoken extensively. So what is this? Where is the third person? Is he in class? Eliza and Amina, where is the other person?
he told us he was in a vehicle and then he will be
He
at
was in his way home, so we don't know why he hasn't gone to class.
Okay, thank you very much, Group 1, for your presentation. All the best. Okay, so let's hear from Group 2.
Someone else is presenting group 2. He's showing the slides for group 2.
I'm Rebecca. I'm projecting for group 2.
Rebecca, did you share your slides with the course rep?
Yes, please.
Rebecca, can you see my slide? Can you see your slide showing?
I can't. Okay, let me stop so that you project.
Yes, I'm sharing. Okay, kindly put your
Okay,
slide.
I've closed mine. Hello.
Can you see the slides?
Yes, I can see. I don't know if my other group members can see it, but I can see it.
So please kindly communicate, okay?
Yes, we can see.
Please go ahead.
Group 1.
Rebecca, we can't hear you.
Okay. Steven, I thought you are presenting.
I am to take question 2.
Who is taking question 1? Kindly.
I'm not ready. Let me take them off.
Vinolia.
Tony, project group 6, okay, so that they will sort themselves out when they are done becoming. They are wasting our time. Group 6, get yours projected. That's poor organization.
Hello.
Is it that group 6 have not sent theirs to you?
Yes, Doc. I don't have group 6 document with me.
Okay, go
Please,
to group 6.
it has been sent long time. Please check it again.
Yeah, Tony, this is Jude. I'm the one who sent it to you the first time. Jude, check it.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon. Please, can you hear me? Hello, please, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
We can hear, but the presentation is not displaying. So let's wait for Tony.
I can see it from here.
Can you
showing
see
he has,
the
he has
slide?
projected it.
I'm sharing. I've shared it.
Okay. I don't know why my video is not working. My pic. I think it's all
Yes,
coming.
we're supposed to start. Kindly start.
Unmute yourself.
Okay. This is Daniel. This is Daniel Tesikatu Adinoti. My group members are Seth Edward and Salo Aladdin, and also Jude Osisipo. We'll be looking at sustainable packaging transformation for fresh harvest. First, we are looking at the introduction. Fresh harvest. Please, can you go to the next slide? Fresh harvest as a company is a mid-sized agro processing company that is confronted with the challenge of uh, sustainable packaging, that is transforming their packaging into sustainable packaging because they have expanded into the European market in current currently. Currently, what the company is doing is that they are using PET bottles and laminated plastics, which with the EU market or the European market, they do not, their regulations do not subscribe to that. What we are looking at that, what we are looking at is that the packaging decision of the company, that's Fresh Harvest, should direct have hello, hello, hello.
Rosemary, mute yourself.
Will have a long term at a competitive advantage or increasingly the sustainability conscious of the international market or the EU market. Please go to the next slide. We are saying that strategic rules of packaging and supply chain management. We are saying that supply chain packaging itself has evolved from just a normal basic or looking at cost of packaging, that is using anyhow to do packaging. It has transformed significantly and now has a lot of elements that its branding can be or packaging can be a brand communication in a form of it can be a brand communication. It can be a corporate sustainability objectives, and also it can be a brand image promotion. In modern times, if you look at Regis and others, they are saying that packaging decision influence logistics efficiency, which includes weight and volume maximization of optimization. Also, transit damage reduction. It also helps in packaging itself. Also helps in transit or transport damage reduction. Uh, from there, we can look at the European market. The European market that has their standard compliance or regulations that do not allow any of the things that we are currently using. Some of us have, let me say, the notion that probably we can look at other forms instead of probably even transferring or exporting our goods and our products to the European market, because uh, our current case study it has limited us to what we are supposed to do. But we were looking at there were other school of thought that we can look at how we can also get a partnership with any of the companies that is running what we are doing, similar to what we are doing. Please go to the next slide. Okay. According to Aziz and others, they also contended that packaging must be regarded as a cross-functional discipline that are concurrently influencing logistic design, procurement policy, brand strategy, and also impact environmental performance. If you look at the World Packaging Organization, they identify 4 core functions for packaging or what packaging itself must cover. And they are saying one, it will have containment. Whatever you use for your packaging must be able to contain the product or have the product secure. The second one is they are talking about protection. So the second aspect is that your packaging must be able to protect the content of what you are packaging. For instance, you cannot use polythene to package something like nails. You know that before it will get to its destination, either it will turn, it will be ripped off, and it will be destroyed. Or for instance, let's look at fruit jelly, for instance, that we are using currently. Fruit jelly cannot be packaged with papers, for instance, because it's liquid. It has to, even if it's in paper, it has to be the laminated one we are using currently in order for the product to be protected. The second one is also It's talking about communication. It's packaging, saying packaging should be able to communicate to the audience or the final consumer or your consumers what the product stands for. For instance, on the package, that's why you can see most of the companies that are packaging these food items. You can see on their packaging the details of what the product contains. Also, some of them give what the product does. So the product itself should be able to communicate to the final consumer that aside whatever probably the person knows, when the person pick it, if he hears of the product that this is the product, if he pick the product, he should be able to get the communication to the product. The next one that is that the product should be able to uh, the product should be able to uh, be part of your corporate sustainability effort. For instance, we are looking at how to reduce waste in this country. That is why companies like Vortic and other few companies, they've decided that the bottles that they use to package their product, now they'll change it. So now they are using packaging materials that are biodegradable. So for instance, when you drink Vortic today, you can just press the bottle and become smaller for easy decomposing or for easy disposal purposes. Please, my other colleague will take the next slide. Please. Hello. Hello.
Yes, I'm here. Yes, I'm here. So I'll take over from my colleague Daniel. I'm setting my video. It's my video showing I don't see myself here, but my camera is on. But then if my video is not showing, I believe maybe it will come later. I don't know. But I'll proceed. So from where my brother ended, now I'm going to question 2. Question 2, we are to use the triple bottom line. We are to use the triple bottom line for fresh start. And when we talk of the triple bottom line, before the European Union, so far as the case study is concerned, before they introduced their regulations, Fresh Harvest was doing well. We were making some gains. But since their regulations came up, there must be a strategic options for Fresh Start to be able to continue doing well on the market, both the West African market and the European Union market. Now, when we talk of the triple bottom line, it is basically a sustainability framework used by organizations to evaluate their performance based on 3 key dimensions. And the dimensions, we talk of the economic, environmental, and social impact. Yes, so we are not necessarily looking only at profit. So when we talk of the economic, for instance, we are talking of the packaging, which should be cost effective and support business profitability. Now, you can't go into a business venture and go into a packaging format or a packaging style that will make you spend excessively beyond, which will affect the costs or the pricing of your product. So we talk of the economics part, which I earlier explained that the packaging should be cost effective and support the business profitability. Now we also talk of environmental, which is it should reduce plastic use and be recyclable or biodegradable. This is where the mono material comes in. And then when we talk of the social, we say it should be safe for consumers and support responsible production practices. Now, the triple bottom line was proposed by Elkington in the 1990s, where all these proposals came about, and based on the proposals that he brought about, from the triple bottom line, we get a holistic overview of financial cost assessment of the options that is available to us. Please, let's go to the next slide. Yes, so among some of the options that Elkington proposed that we use now is we had the incremental transactions or incremental change. We have the radical or transformation change, and then we have the hybrid system. Now, the incremental transaction, for that matter, the incremental change, here organizations are with this system, organizations will be able to let me say, organizations will be able to adapt or start with the monomaterial plastics processes with a gradual change. Here, the change is gradual. It's not instant. So gradually, that is the company Fresh Harvest can start producing the monomaterials gradually with their existing materials. That is without really making any change to their existing equipment. So here, the cost factors are really considered. And for that matter, in a short term, the company doesn't really spend much on the change. So the change here is gradual. So what for this reason, the company Fresh Harvest can be able to still serve the local markets whilst planning a way, as in planning a change
2 minutes
onto
more.
the European Union market. Please, let's go to the next slide. Exactly. So talking of the food transition to biodegradable and paper-based materials, the option one is basically what I was still talking about. Here we talk of using the mono materials for production. And using the mono materials for production, there is we use monomaterial structures to improve recyclability by approximately 15 to 20% without requiring substantial operational changes. So that's what I was talking about. Because of time, I'll let my colleague continue with the other options available. So the next slide, please. Thank you.
Good evening, Doc. I'm Secretary Edwin. I'm taking from where my brother has left. And we are now into full transition to biodegradable and paper-based material. Here we are basing it on the three factors that my brother has said earlier: the economical, the social, and the environmental. But with the biodegradable and paper-based material, it will be very expensive for Fresh Harvest to go, because they are now coming to buy the machine from Fresh machine. They have to train their staff on how to use the machines and stuff. So here the cost, they'll have to increase their cost of the product at the long run, and the market is not ready to pay the higher cost. But the question we understand, the market is only ready to pay 5 to 8%. So economically, it is not a good initiative for them to take us up now. And secondly, with the European market, if they use the biodegradable paper and stuff, they will meet the standard, they will meet the European standard. And socially, it will reduce carbon footprint, and also the product life cycle will be reduced in terms of the packaging. And I remember there's a product that we sell in my company called Fiber. It is packaged in a flexible paper, in a sense that if you take it, you can throw it into a concrete and the packaging will dissolve. And recently, most clients would not like to buy products and pay extra money for disposing the product of. So they want a product that if they buy after usage, they can dispose it off easily without incurring any cost. So I think biodegradable paper-based material is the best way to go. But for the company, as at now, it will not be good for them. Then the third option is a hybrid strategy, which is a dual market model, which is you keep the traditional way of packaging and you do the other hybrid, you do the other packaging for the European market. But here I'm suggesting if they can outsource that aspect of packaging to a foreign company that will package the item and supply to the European market. Then the next slide talks about the verdict. Like, we compare the strategies and we select which one is the best for them to select. And we think the dual market is the best for them to select based on their capital, based on the fact that it is very economical to operate, and it is very okay for them as of now, because they have not developed into a full, they are not financially sound as at this stage. I'll now let my other colleague to continue.
Hello, good evening. This is Sulu Osman Alaudin. Camera. Hey, how do I do the camera?
If it's not coming, go on.
Okay. Good evening. I'm Sulos Malaudin. I'm taking off from where my brother left.
Please, the next slide.
The next slide. Here, the fresh harvest face a significant procurement risk, so arising from the scarcity of loyal, available, sustainable packaging materials in West Africa. So in that case, they will have to look for other alternatives to achieve whatever they want to achieve. So we have supply availability to and raw material procurement are identified as principal obstacles to sustainable packaging. Adoption in low and middle income economies as a reliable single sourcing creates systematic supply vulnerability. That is by Mingle Intel 2021. We also have a machinery compatibility presence as additional operational risks. An existing filling and sealing equipment is collaborated by laminating plastics and will require costly technical modification and replacement to accommodate paper-based and biodegradable packaging format. Next slide. Next slide, please. Then supply diversification and engaging a minimum of 3 to 4 certified sustainable packaging supply across multi-geographical alongside strategic buffer stock policy constitutes. Then we go to the price hedging instrument, including forward foreign exchange contract for anticipation packaging and procurement. Can also be sustainable, reduce cost, escalating risk associated with importing. That is the currency involved in importing those goods. Then we have leasing agreement or equipment financing through development financial institutions such as African Development Bank. That is, if we need more support, we have other alternatives like the African Development Bank who can help us to be able to get the correct packaging for whatever we want to package
30
so that
seconds.
we'll be able to meet the market demand. Next slide. Then we are in this case, we have mentioned already that we have other methods, that is the hybrid and the economical. That we have decided to choose the hybrid because in the hybrid, the changes are not instant. You change it gradually according to the market, so that you will not incur a lot of costs. That is, if you are changing the packaging for European market, you have to look at how much you can be able to afford to package now, so that it will not cost much in the company. Instead of you doing it at once and it will cost huge, you do it slowly so that it will reduce your cost. Then compliance, so that you'll be able to comply with the European rules and regulations in terms of packaging, so that you will meet their market needs. Next slide. In
Okay,
conclusion, we have
thank
the
you
reference.
very much.
Thank you.
So, any questions for them, group 6? All right, so if no question, I have a question for you. You have mentioned about defense, packaging as a defensive or utilized as a defensive strategic hierarchy. And I was wondering how can that indeed ensure that you are able to effectively utilize that kind of strategy for the European markets to accept.
Sir, please, the question again. Sorry, sir.
I'm saying that in your expose, you have indicated that there is a defensive strategic hierarchy as far as utilizing the packaging strategy is concerned. And I'm saying that how can that be used to be able to enter into the European market? How advantageous is that? If you can't remember, go back to the previous slide. Tony, go back to the previous slide. Tony, previous slide. Cost rep. Cost rep, are you here? All right. So you are saying that
This is the previous slide.
yes. No, you've gone too far. Yes. Yes, group 6. So look at the third point. Complying with forming a clear and defensible strategic hierarchy. And I'm asking you, are you getting my point?
Strategic hierarchy. Yes.
What is that?
Compliance with EU treat as a primary strategic.
You have said so, and I'm asking you.
This one, it talks about the European market. So in a situation where you are supposed to meet the EU Commission's rule 2023, you have to be able to package in a way that when they buy it, they can be able to dispose it off. So if you are able to meet those regulations or commissions, it means you are having a hedge over your competitors.
Okay, so that's fine. Number 2, in an emerging economy like ours, what other strategies as far as packaging is concerned can we also use as an innovation, which is indeed a homegrown one, for which we can also think of exporting to the EU market?
And
it is to the group and not only you.
I'm not getting the question clear.
Sir, please, we are not clear with the question, please.
I'm saying that, well, the European Union has brought their regulations that you should comply, right? I'm
Yes,
saying
sir.
that what
Yes,
can you
sir.
also show as a domestic entity? What can you also show as far as your own innovations are concerned? What did you find? Didn't you find anything that the domestic market has also come up with?
Okay. Sir, in recent years, there are some domestic companies that have also been are also very conscious of their packaging. Like I mentioned earlier on, Votic, for instance, this is what they are doing. They are using products that are biodegradable. So as a company like a Fresh Harvest, we can also look at a way to reduce, for instance, the thickness. If a PET bottle, for instance, currently the thickness is 5 layers, we can look at how we can reduce it to around 2 layers, which can still hold the product or the content of the product and still work for us as a local market by not necessarily looking at the European standard. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, so that's fine. Thank you very much, Group 6. Yes, Group 7.
Hello, Eric. Yeah, hello everyone.
Yes, hi.
Yeah, good afternoon. So this is Group 7, and we have Eric and Sabwache, Jude, Esiedu Esiao, Jonathan Ali, and Reginald Ebo Bowden. Please, the next slide, please. So the case study, we just have a brief summarization of the case study. So we look at the strategic objectives of the case study. So it's a viable transition to sustainable packaging under the EU pressure, cost volatility, and changing consumer expectations. So from our discussion that we had,
we saw that Fresh Harvest, they produce fruit juice and dried fruits and blended spices, which they do in plastics bottles, and they are being compelled to move into more sustainable other materials, which include glass and other biodegradable packaging. So there are some key challenges that will come up even as they transition from their current packaging system into the new one that are being compelled by the European Union as they want to move more into the European market. So we can move on to the next slide, please. So packaging is a strategic lever for marketing access, cost save, and brand trust, not merely just a procurement process. So we can see that packaging is not just for branding sake, but it's very strategic form because it helps a company that it gives an identity to a company. For instance, when you pick Nido, you know that Nido it's from Nestle. When you pick Storm, you know Storm is from Casapreco because they are identity that comes with what their identity that is being linked up to the institution. Immediately you see that. So packaging is not just anything, but it's a brand, which is very important for every company. Please, you can move on to the next slide. So we continue with the executive summary form, the main contest. So,
Oh, no, go to the next
yes.
slide, please. On agenda, we need this. Next slide.
Sorry, next slide, please.
To question one. Next slide to question one. All right. Hello, Eric.
Yeah. No, to the other one, to the first one, please. This is a continuation of the one. Okay, so to question one, how to integrate packaging as a strategic role. So we have various aspects, which is from the government's aspect, decision criteria, process and data makes up. So with the governance, we have cross-functional
Hello, Eric. Two minutes more.
Okay, so packaging can be incorporated into what corporate strategy because every institution has a function. As we can talk of procurement, we can talk of HR, and each department has an important role to play. And in as much as they are playing an important role, they contribute to the overall development of the company. So the same way the packaging department should be treated as such because, as I said earlier on, it's a brand which sells the company what identity outside. So if it's selling the company outside, that means that all maximum respect will also what be given to the package department. Because when people see the packaging, they are able to what buy more of our products, and in effect what maximize our profits. Please, the next slide.
Next slide, please. Tony, next slide.
Yeah, Jude, continue.
No, next slide. The slide is not on it. Tony, please move on. Next slide. Okay, I'm looking at the operational and procurement risks with mitigation. I would like to talk about three main risks. That's the three main key risks. The first one that I'll be looking at the sourcing, the operational, the quality regulations, and then infrastructure. But then I'll be tackling the main three. The very first one talks about the sourcing. The sourcing basically talks about the currency shifts. And because we know that the fresh harvest will be importing some of it eco materials, obviously they are going to have certain challenges with the currency. This is as a result of the economy. Because the economy is not stable, obviously they'll be facing certain challenges. The second risk that they'll be facing will be respect to operations. And the operations, I'll be talking about the machinery. With respect to the machinery, obviously because they'll be shifting from the old one to the new one, they'll be facing challenges. So some of the challenges that we are talking about, the machines will be outdated. And because they are moving to a new one, obviously the machine will be slow, sometimes weak. And since they are introducing a new product, obviously putting in new jobs, there was going to be some sort of difficulties. Please move to the next slide. And then again, biodegradable films. Sometimes these are some of the challenges that they also face. Now, tackling some of the mitigations, we'll be looking to the very first one when we talk about the that is the currency. It will be of good necessity for fresh harvest to always have enough stock, because when they have enough stock and even there's fluctuation with the currency, because they have enough stock, they can always depend on it when there are some of challenges. Why? Because they have done previous research to know the number of stock they will be needing. And because they have done that, the currency wouldn't affect them much. And then also, because they have also done that, the production will also continue. They are not going to stop with the production. Why? Because they were able to stock certain products in their process of producing. And then again, when it comes to the machinery, it is very important for them also to keep upgrading their machinery for future use. Because when they fail to upgrade their machines, they'll be having challenges. Why? Because the European market has given them what they needed to do. And because what they've given them what they needed to do, if the machines are not fit for purpose, they are going to have challenges when it comes to that. And then again, with respect to the digitalization, it is also a very important key. If they fail to upgrade themselves with digitalization, if they fail to do that one also, with time they'll be facing challenges. So it's very important for them also to digitalize themselves in order for them to know some of the regulations coming into the European market for them to be able to adjust themselves. I would like to hand over the next question to one of my colleagues to also take over from there. Thank you. Jonathan.
Yeah, to the next slide, question 4.
Question 4.
To the next slide, question 4.
All right.
That is where we are relating consumer behavior, regulation, and strategic choice. Now, research shows that consumers are not willing to pay more, even though regulations, ISO standards indicate that we should have friendly eco packaging materials. Research shows that consumers are not actually willing to pay more. They are only willing to pay between 5 to 8%. Hence, the organization must make sure that whatever they want to produce must be eco-friendly in order to meet international standards, and then ICO certifications in order to bridge the gap between the local market and the foreign market in order to make their needed profits. Please, the next slide. Again, we have some key performance indicators here where we're trying to see how the company could win. One, we talk about the price architecture, where the company must not always be focused on the price, as in making the price so high for the domestic market or making the price so high for the foreign market in order for the product to live, to stay on the shelf for long. Secondly, we talk about the sustainable packs for EU export markets, where you have to meet your ISO standards and international regulations. One aspect of making your products very acceptable in the foreign market is also making sure that your product is traceable, where your packaging material, there should be QR code, possibly on your. Hello, Doc.
You have 30 seconds.
Where you have a QR code on your product in order for consumers to scan and know the actual content of your product and what is being used for the package. It's also very important. Please, next slide.
In conclusion,
we have, in conclusion, my next colleague will continue, please.
In conclusion, these are some of the recommendations and then the roadmaps which we hope Fresh Harvest pack on. One, we spoke about the strategic recommendations.
Right. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Group 7. Any questions for Group 7?
Sir, there's one key I would like to drop.
One key you want to drop?
Yes. With respect to the operation.
Yeah, now saying what? You are done.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
All right. Yeah, so I have these questions for you, Group 7. Yes, in one of your recommendations, you mentioned about the dual source contracts with, foreign exchange index pricing. And with regards to some of these businesses with other foreign entities, how can that be advantageous in your quest to be competitive?
So with respect to the dual pricing, actually, because we are dealing with the local market and then the European Union market, it is.
I didn't say dual price. You mentioned about dual source, and I'm saying that how can that be advantageous? Not dual price.
Sir, please, please, can you come again?
So I'm saying that in one of your recommendations, you are mentioning that it will be important for you to secure dual source contracts with Forex index pricing or Forex index pricing clauses. And I'm saying that how can those ones be advantageous as far as your dealings with foreign entities are concerned? You are saying so. Look at your operational recommendations. 1, 2, the third one. That is what you are saying.
The operational recommendation. So please, I'm trying to get what you're saying, man. I'm finding it difficult.
Your third point, what are you saying? Your third point as a recommendation is to secure. Can you see your third point, the operational recommendations?
Yes. Okay. Yes. Secure dual source contract with FX index pricing clause. Build a strategic buffer. So that's what I was trying to explain previously. That building a strategic buffer is very important.
You were talking about dual pricing, young man. That was not what you were trying to explain previously. Just answer what I'm saying. I'm saying that this is what you have indicated. How can this be advantageous? Just tell us and then we'll move on. Don't change the, my question. Now you want to ask a question and then answer it. This is my question.
Okay. It is advantageous because we'll be building a strategic buffer stocks for packaging materials.
Okay. Thank you. Any other contribution from, yes, Jude?
Yes, Doc, thank you.
Dr.
So,
Yamdu.
yes, thank you, Doc. So, the third point that you raised, I was thinking, I want to say what I'm thinking. If I'm wrong, then they can correct me. I was thinking that dual sourcing, they are trying to get multiple suppliers due to the exchange rate volatility so that they'll be able to
Yeah.
go into hedging with
Jude, hold on.
different.
Hold on, please. Are you part of their team?
I'm Jude.
No, please, I'm not.
I see one Jude to 4.
So
Sir,
yes, I
I'm
am
Jude.
not
This is
part of
Jude
the team.
No, please
Oh,
let them answer. If you have any other thing to ask, you can also ask. That was why I gave the opportunity to everyone to also ask.
I'm
But
Jude Asiedu.
Judas said, please hold it.
Okay.
Let's take it easy. Okay. Let's have some decorum here. So I'm saying that, Jude, if you have something to add, kindly wait till they are done and then you can add it.
Or Doc, Jude is part of our group.
No, this is Jude to 4. You're the one part of your group is Jude.
Jude to 4 is not part. Jude to 4 is not part, but Jude is part.
Okay, continue.
Sir, please, based on the question you asked, we are trying to say that because Forex is volatile, obviously we're supposed to, the source, and we're supposed to contact more than one due to the items that we are importing. So when you contact more than one, the ones that you think the price is preferable, you import more and then stock it for your buffer. In case price keeps fluctuating, then you have enough stock to depend on. That is what we meant.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, thank you very much. Group 7. Anybody with any contribution because of what they've indicated? Because one interesting thing is about the establishment of a packaging steering group, which is also a very strategic move. Yes, Jude to 4, you can share your thoughts now.
Yes, thank you, Doc. I think what I wanted to say, he has clarified it. On the third point, the operational recommendations you were asking a question on. So he said something earlier. I was thinking of the secure dual source contract with FX index pricing clauses. So I wanted to find out if what I was thinking is what they are thinking. I wanted to see if we are on the same page, but I think he has clarified it, so I'm okay now.
Okay, very well. Very well. Okay, so group 2, the final group.
Hello, Doc. This is group 2. Sorry for the earlier. The person who was supposed to talk had a technical challenge, so he couldn't actually present. So yeah, sorry.
Hello, good afternoon, Doc.
Yes, good afternoon.
This is Leah Futagi. This is group 2. I want to apologize for the earlier hold up. I was trying to unmute my phone, but it wasn't responding. So very sorry. This group 2, and I'm presenting with Emmanuel Akapo, Steven Tete, and Rebecca Bonnie. I'm talking about the role of packaging in the supply chain management. According to the World Packaging Organization, packaging
What is happening?
I think the network. So I'll continue for her. I think she's having network challenges like before. So I'll continue for her. So the first question was asking that we should critically evaluate the strategic role of packaging in supply chain management. using Fresh Harvest as a reference. So we realized that packaging is able to affect transportation efficiency, warehouse, and waste management throughout the value chain. In the case of Fresh Harvest, it influences upstream procurement, production efficiency, logistic regulatory compliance, and consumer perception. This is the next slide. This is able to influence upstream procurement by ensuring that it gives the consumer first-hand impression, or it gives the consumer first-hand procurement. My colleague will answer the question too. My group members. Okay, so since my group members are not ready, I'll continue.
Hello.
The question 2 is
all right. So I picked question 2 that talks about the triple bottom line framework propounded by John Elkington in 1997, which talks about business measuring their success in 3 areas. That is the economic, the environmental, and then the social impact it has. So we look at the 3 options that were propounded. That is the incremental change, the radical sustainability, and then the hybrid strategy. So we pick it one at a time. Please, the slides. So please go to slide 9, option 9. So for option 1, which is incremental change, looking at changing their packaging to a monomaterial plastics, we look at all the 3 areas propounded by Elkington. So for the economic, we are looking at the lower solution cost, which involves probably no new machinery, minimal operation disruptions, and then an estimated cost of 18 to 20% increase in the material, since they are going to change to a monomaterial plastic. And then for the environmental, we realize that the monomaterial plastic is recyclable. But it will still depend on petroleum-based plastics. And then it will meet, minimally, it will meet the EU recoverability requirement, and then socially responds to consumer preference because it is recyclable, and then limited improvement in corporate sustainability images. With option 2, which looks at the radical sustainability shift, that is going in for the biodegradable or plus the paper-based packaging. This option looks at a major transformation in machinery. And so for financial implications, we see that it is going to cost, materials are going to be high in cost, up to about 35%. And then they are going to invest in new equipment and machinery as well. And then the supply chain risk due to imports, because most of their materials are going to be imported. And then for environmental, we are looking at the strongest reduction in environmental footprints aligned with the EU standards. And then the social, it's significant for their brand enhancement, because people will always want to go for something that is eco-friendly. And then it will meet rising consumer concerns about plastic waste as well. And then the price sensitive customers may resist price increase, because going in for the biodegradable and plus the paper-based packaging will obviously increase price, which per the case study, consumers are not willing to go buy. And then the third option, which is the hybrid, which is combining, looking at the local market and then the EU market. We realize that it is going to optimize cost by keeping cheaper packaging domestically, and then justify expenses, sustainability, investment through export revenues, and then more complex inventory management. For For environmental, we look at the major environmental improvements in export lines, and then environmental impact remains high in domestic markets. Then the social, it strengthens reputation in the EU market, says it is going to align with the standards, and then allows gradual consumer education locally, and then create perceived inconsistency in brand identity. So for the options, we realize that the third option, that is the hybrid strategy, is the best option. So using the triple bottom line framework, that is option 3. Option 3 is the best choice because it balances the profitabilities, environmental responsibility, and then social expectation. And also it allows Fresh Harvest to meet strict European sustainability requirements whilst maintaining affordable products for local consumers. I leave the third question to my colleague Emmanuel to continue for us. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I will continue from where my brother just ended. I'm taking the operational and procurement risk in emerging economies. The first one is procurement risk. Procurement risk. The first point is import dependency. 2 scholars, one is Iunsu and Part 2022, they stated that sustainable packaging materials are scarce locally. 2, currency volatility, increased cost unpredictability. 3, long lead time for biodegradable films and paper-based laminate. 4, supplier unreliability due to low regional capacity. The second point is operational risk. The operational risk, we found out that machinery compatibility is one operational risk. That's laminated plastic cannot simply be replaced. 2, production downtime due to material testing. 4, quality variability of biodegradable material in humid climate. And the last one is regulatory uncertainty in developing markets. Please, next line. Then we go to risk mitigation strategies.
2
That's
minutes
the supply chain. Okay. Supply chain risk mitigation. That's one. Diversify suppliers regionally and globally. 2, negotiate long-term supplier contracts with key packaging suppliers. Establish vendor-managed inventory, VIM structures. Explore local partnership with packaging procedures. Operational risk mitigation. Conduct pilot trials using test badges. Adopt modular machinery that accommodate multiple packaging materials. Train operators in handling new materials properties. And implement robust quality assurance for biodegradable materials. Financial risk mitigation. We find out that hedging currency exposure. Applying for sustainability-linked financing, that's IFC and AFDB, that's International Finance Corporation and Africa Development Bank. Then the last one is leverage EU buyer co-funded sustainability programs. Next line. So my sister will continue from question 4. Sister Vinoria.
I'll continue. Vinoria is having a challenge. Question 4 is saying consumer behavior and regulatory influence on packaging suggestions. Studies have shown that consumers prefer eco-friendly packaging more, especially in domestic markets. Importance of convenience and visual appeal. Please, next slide. Please, next slide.
30 seconds more.
EU regulations on packaging waste. Oh, no, please go back. Wait, no. Should fresh fruit harvest prioritize concern cost leadership or differentiation? We recommended that fresh harvest should prioritize regulatory compliance and differentiation in export package. This is because compliance is not negotiable for market success. Differentiation using sustainable packaging supports long-term brand equity, and cost leadership is unrealistic given rising import costs and raw market volatility. That compliance-driven differentiation strategy is particularly in export markets and is theoretically and strategically sound. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Group 2. So any questions for them? So in your expose, you indicated that compliance is a non-negotiable item, to indeed market access. And I was wondering why you think so, because for you to be able to enter certain markets, of course, as far as ensuring that your packaging is concerned, you need full compliance. And so having that in your as a justification was indeed a very important one. But if you relate it with the case, what do you think?
Okay, I think they are supposed to be comply with the EU regulations for them to be able to enter the market. Since it's also an avenue of generating more money, they need to be compliant with the EU regulations, and it will make them get more brand deals or get more consumers, customers, since they are in compliance with the EU regulations.
We can't even hear you.
Oh, sir, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Please, can you hear me?
It is faint. It looks like you and your group, I don't know what's happening. We can't hear
What
you.
What I'm saying is that since they are entering the EU market or they have customers in the EU market, they are supplying to the market. They need to be compliant because they are not compliant to the EU regulations. They can ban them from supplying in that market. It's also going to make them lose some of their customers. And being compliant is also going to make them get more deals in the EU. So they need to be compliant.
Okay, so what's the importance of extended producer responsibility?
Doc, please, the question again.
As part of your regulatory pressures, you have mentioned extended producer responsibility, and I'm asking you, what is the resultant effect? What is that? Your own slides, you have written that as part of your regulatory pressure, EU regulations on packaging waste and extended producer responsibility demand so and so. I'm saying that you have brought it to us. What is the extended producer responsibility? What is that?
It's a policy that ensures that producers produce according to a specific standard that is provided by the regulatory body.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, so thank you. Any questions for them? No, I'm sure that we are done. Okay, so thank you. Yeah, so thank you very much, Group 2, for your answers and all. All right, so my final remarks. Okay, I guess every group have done quite well. I have a few remarks here, especially for those who never spoke, who never participated in the presentation and all that. So I think first of all, I must commend those who participated, that you've done very well. And I mean, I could see very, important content. Okay, very important content. Again, I could see some form of innovation, especially with those who brought in the theories. I saw stakeholder theory, institutional theory, and that was quite innovative. Again, with clarity of thoughts, I think some of you also did very well. And then with your presentation, you could indeed see pictorials, especially with group 6. Okay, and then I think group, group 3 also. Okay, I'll check. Yes, so you realize that pictorials actually emphasizes the points that indeed you wanted to make. Again, some of you did quite well with regards to transitions. Okay, then I'll allow my group member to continue. Others to, as you know. And then you could also feel some teamwork among some of you and other. All these are very, very positives, that positive remarks that indeed are commendable. And the approach to answering questions has also been good. As far as the other side is concerned, I must say that it would be good that you work as a team. Okay, at this level, teamwork is important, and I could feel from some of the groups that indeed there was not real group work, and that is not too good. As much as possible, as adults of this at this level, you should be tolerant and be able to. Let me put on my camera. Yes, you should be tolerant and be able to work with people. I mean, get the tax done. That's the most important thing. Once you get the tax done, all other things can be sorted out. But you don't look at people's attitude or behavior and use that as a means of scoring 0. That's okay, then I won't participate. Then you get 0. Then you come back and come and meet me next year. That is not fair and the best. Okay, so again, I must say that, you see, when you are given an opportunity to have a presentation like this, you should make it appealing. Okay, if it's appealing, it is better than just wordy and that's it. These are not notes that I'm giving you. These are, you are presenting to an audience, and therefore it has to be of certain standard. Okay, you can talk and talk and talk, but just one picture can showcase a lot of the things that you may want to. And then utilization of some of the devices. I mean, you should be able to utilize the device which you intend to use for your presentation. Else you waste a lot of time, you waste people's time, and people do not have that luxury of time. And so kindly look at that. Make sure you are the basics of computing, okay? Use of the PowerPoint, clicking here and all that. Find time to learn that because you need it at this level. Okay, very soon you may be presenting your thesis. I don't know if you have been giving your topics but because you stand in front of us as a panel and then you present. Okay, and that is indeed face to face. So you need to be you need to stay abreast. When I ask you to show your face, you're hiding and you're reading. To me, you at a point you will not be able to read. Because when you face the panel during your thesis presentation or your Viva presentation, you can't read there. So this is the starting point. Anything that we do here is indeed very, very significant. Okay. So again, so that I think these are my comments, positives, and then the I won't say negatives, the other side of things. But overall, I think that I'm quite thrilled and enthused by what you have got to say. And so that is it. I will do the grading and I'll add it to your continuous assessment as your continuous assessment, and then we take it from there. Any questions, any thoughts from you? Yeah. Any thoughts?
Doc, we would like
Yes.
to this opportunity to say thank you for the opportunity you've given to us to be able to express ourselves through this presentation. We really cherish it and appreciate it. Bless you, sir.
That's fine. Thank you. Yes, any other? Yes, any other? Okay, so okay, yeah, yes, Jude. Jude, I see you.
Hello,
Sorry.
Doc. Again, we would like to also thank our course rep. You've really done a good job for us. We want to thank him.
Yeah, okay. Yes, any other? And again, I must add this, that you see, you have to know your slides. Okay. It will be very embarrassing that what is in your slides you do not know. So know your slides. If you do not know, if you've not read about it, don't add it to your slide. Because when you're asked to explain or to emphasize or to, highlight anything in your slide, you should, because you should own it. You should be able to, share your thoughts on the slides. That's very, very important. Because if your own slides that you are cherishing and presenting, you cannot make headway as far as what the content is all about, then indeed that is not too good. Okay, that is not too good at all. All right. Okay, so if there's nothing else to say or to add, then I wish you the very best. Have a wonderful time and take it. I think you can use the rest of the time to do other things. After this heated presentation, you need a cool down. All right. So I wish you the very best. Okay. Have a good evening. Take care. Bye.
Thank
Right.
you and
Thank you,
bye.
Doc.
Thank
Thank you,
you,
Doc.
Doc.
Thank you.
Thank you, Doc.
Okay, Doc,
Thank
we
you.
meet again. Why are you people leaving fast?
We are tired.
Be waiting for us. We'll come back.
Okay.